Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. My name is Pranav Pant and I am one of the best aptitude trainers for different competitive examinations. I myself have cracked hundreds of competitive examinations based on aptitude and scored very high scores in all of them. I am very strong at quantitative aptitude, data interpretation, and logical reasoning. This is a series which I am creating for aspirants who are targeting MBA entrance examinations, and this will complete the quant syllabus right from the basics to the advanced level. So, in the very first video of this playlist, I'm going to start with calculation techniques because in quant, what matters is how fast you can calculate. Most of the students are aware of the concepts. The serious students, they know the concepts. Where they spend the most amount of time is calculating at the last step. So the initial few videos on calculation techniques will help you improve your ability to solve questions at a very fast pace. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and follow us on social media platforms. Let's start with this thing, and every aspirant who targets MCQ based aptitude examinations must know that there are very few questions that have smart options. Most aspirants do not know this fact, and as a result they actually end up doing calculations. So in this video I will tell about certain techniques in which you can reduce your calculation and use smart options, like you use options to figure out your answer rather than calculating it. So the very first thing that one must be aware of, the last digit concept. It's a very helpful concept, and it can be used to eliminate options in some of the questions. I'm not saying that all questions will have this thing, but at least maybe 10-20%. Even if you apply this in 10-20% of the questions, you are reducing your time spent on solving the questions. So what does this last digit mean? It means that last digit of any calculation depends on last digit. So last digit depends on last digit. Now, this very basic principle, let us understand through examples in different cases. So, suppose you have to do addition or subtraction of numbers. Okay. Now, let's say if I add 7 plus 4, the number I will get is 11. If we add 17 plus 34, what do we get? We get 51. Okay. If we add, let's say we add some bigger number. Okay. So, I add 187 plus 324. Okay. If we add further numbers, let's say I add 3 8 2 7 plus, or any number. If you add 5 digits, 6 digit, does not matter. So what we notice in this case is you do the calculation, it will be 11, 1 carries 11, and then you have 5. Okay. So you will get 1 8. Now, what did we notice in all these sums is very basic thing to notice here is when we add 7 and 4, or if we add 4 and 7, any order does not matter. We are getting the last digit as 1 in all the cases. So, very simple principle that the last digit depends on the last digit. So, this was addition. Let us take an example of subtraction. 13 minus 8, you will get 5. 83 minus 28. Take 3 digits, 253 minus 168. Take 4 digits. Or any number of digits, you will realize that it is 5 and 5. It is 5 and then 8. So what do we notice? We are subtracting 8 from 3. We are getting 5 as the last digit in all these subtractions. So whatever be the number, when we subtract, we get the last digit as 5. Okay, so you've noticed this, maybe you have had noticed this but did not realize that it can be used to solve questions. Similarly, it is also applicable in multiplication. Remember, not in division. ठीक है, डिवीजन में नहीं होता है क्योंकि डिवीजन में कभी नंबर में आंसर आ सकता है, फ्रैक्शन में आ सकता है, इंटीजर और फ्रैक्शंस, but it is applicable in multiplication. So let's take some example of multiplication also. So if we do 2 into 3, we get 6. Do 12 into 3, you get 36. Get 13 into 2, you get 26. Make it 103 into 22, you will get 2266. Take it 93 into 92. Okay, so for this also we will have a video, okay, wherein I'll explain that how to do these calculations very fast. Okay, so watch that video also. I will tell you the trick in that video. Okay, so check this out, that if this is the answer, okay, and if it is the answer, in the next video I will be telling that how to multiply such numbers very fast. Okay, so you will notice that whenever we multiply these numbers, the last digit is always the same. So when you multiply a set of numbers, the last digit will always be the same. So this is the concept of last digit. Now, no one will ask you, in some examinations, there are questions on last digit. And in some cases, these last digit help you figure out the answers fast. So let's take a very simple example. Okay, we are doing right from the scratch. So I'm taking very basic example. Let's say we are given that there are three numbers A, B, and C. They are in this ratio. Okay, the difference between A and C is 214. What is the sum of the numbers? Okay, now how do we approach this question? Is we take A is equal to 14x, we take B is equal to 24x, and C is equal to 15x. Difference between A and C क्या हो जाएगा? X will be the difference between A and C. C minus A, so C is greater, is 214. Okay, we need to find the sum of the numbers. So what is the sum? This is what we get as 38 plus 15, 53x. Okay, now you need to do 53 into 214. In some examinations you might find such kind of questions and students actually do the calculation. I do not know the table of 53, I do not know the table of 214, but when I observe the options, all the options have different last digit. Okay, so I see 3 into 4 is 12, last digit should be 2, so the answer is 11342. So use this technique when all options have different last digit. So any topic, right, be it any topic in quant or data interpretation, if the last digit is different, that means your calculation is very simple for that particular question. So let's say there is a question on time, speed, distance. A train runs at a speed of 40 by 3 meter per second. What distance will it cover in 22 hours? Now you will have to learn furthermore to understand that it is in meter per second. In order to convert into kilometer per hour, you need to multiply by 18 by 5. Okay, so you need to multiply accordingly. So 40 by 3 into 18 by 5 into 22. Okay, so this is 6 times, this is 8 times. 8 into 6 into 2. 8 into 6 is 48, so last digit is 8. 8 into 2 is 16. 16 means last digit should be 6. Okay, so we get the answer as 1056 kilometer. So such kind of problems can be solved much faster. So there might be some examinations which are on the easier side and have these kind of questions. You can solve them instantly. Okay, those are the questions like examinations, some examinations like SNAP, maybe CUET, MAT, CET are some examinations which are speed based examinations. And if you know these basic techniques, you can beat others because concept wise, many of the aspirants are at equal level. It is the fast calculation techniques which make difference between a good candidate and the best of the candidates. Now, next thing, which is very important again in some cases, is divisibility rules. Okay. Now, divisibility rules, here are some common divisibility rules. So, if a number's units digit is even, okay, then a number is divisible by 2. So, let's say 34, 5896. These are divisible by 2. So, the number is divisible by 2. Sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Okay, so if we see 5 plus 7, 12, 12 plus 6, 18. So 7, 12, 18, 27. Okay, so this is divisible by 3. Okay. If a number last two digits are divisible by 4, the number is divisible by 4. So if you divide 68 by 4, it is divisible. The last two digits are divisible by 4, so the number is divisible by 4. Units digit is 0 or 5, that is answer 75. So these are divisible by 5. So these are very simple ones. For 8, you need to check the last three digits. Okay, suppose the number is 3512. Okay, or you take check the last three digits. If the last three digits are divisible by 8, the number is divisible by 8. Okay. For 9, the sum of digits is divisible by 6. Okay. Suppose if we have the number as 639, the total is 18, which is divisible by 9. So this number is divisible by 9. Okay. Suppose we have the number as 1, 2, 3, 4. So we see that 6, 10, 18. Then suppose we take 9 also. Okay. So the number is 27, which is divisible by 9. So these are numbers which are divisible by 9. Divisibility by 11 is also helpful at times. Okay. Division by sum of digits at odd places and sum of digits at even places is 0 or multiple of 11. Okay. So now this looks like quite weird to hear about what is sum of digits as uh, even places and odd places. Okay, so let's take a number. So let's take 473. Okay, now you take any of the digits, like if you take these alternate digits, 4 plus 3 is 7, and this is a separate digit. So 7 minus 7 is 0. Okay, so we get that sum of digits like this. Okay, so let's take another example. Let's say the number is 51084. Okay, now if you take the sum of these digits 5, 0 and 4, alternate digits you need to take the sum, which is 9, and 1 plus 8 is also 9. So the sum is either 0 or it should be a multiple of 11. So let me take a large number, 1174932. Okay. Now if I take the sum, alternate digits का sum लेना है. So you not to worry that what is odd place, what is even place. Alternate digits का sum लेना है. So 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17. 17 plus 2 is 19. Okay. And when we take this sum, 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8. The difference is 11. It should be 0 or a multiple of 11. So in most cases it will be 0. In some cases it will be a multiple of 11 also. Okay, so that is what is known by uh, the divisibility by 11. So if the difference is 0 or a multiple of 11, you get that the number is divisible by 11. Now, this is quite helpful in many cases. We will see some examples of it. Okay, so we are taking a very basic example. Let's say you need to multiply 63 by 45. Okay, so of course the question won't be as simple as this, that the cost of 1 kg of mango is 63. What is the cost of 45 kg of mangoes? I have just taken this example to elaborate that how can we figure out the answers without multiplying. Okay, suppose you have to multiply 63 and 45, right? I do not know the table of 63, I don't know the table of 45 either, but what I know is this is a multiple of 9. Okay, this is a multiple of 9. So when we multiply any of the numbers, if it were a multiple of 9, so we will check the divisibility by 9. So there are chances that you might get the right answer. See, divisibility is not a conclusive thing. Last digit is not a conclusive thing. If you get the digits right, last digit right, that does not mean that that is the right answer. But if you get the last digit wrong, that means that is the wrong answer. Same with divisibility also. If a number is divisible by 9, that does not mean the answer is right. But if the number is not divisible by 9, that means the answer is wrong. So this can be used to eliminate options in some cases. Again, I'm making a disclaimer that it is not always true. हो सकता है दो multiple ऐसे दो options ऐसे हो जो 9 के multiples हो. But in some cases, it might work. Okay, and if it works, that should be the first thing that you should try to do. So let's say this number 2 plus 7 9, 9 plus 7 16. It is not a multiple of 9. This is 10. 10 plus 8 18 could be an answer. Okay, we are not saying that this is the answer because there can be other multiples of 9 also. 3 plus 5 is 8, definitely not the answer. 4 plus 9 is 13, not the answer. So this becomes our obvious choice. So check for the divisibility rules. If you get a unique number which is a divisible number by 9 or any other number, then that becomes your answer. So be vigilant with the options. I'm not saying that you should not be doing the calculations. If needed, do the calculations, but in many places you can skip the calculations. Let us look at the next example. Now, this looks like a proper question which you can face in an examination. Okay, so it says that the height of a cylindrical pillar is 15 meters. The diameter of its base is 350 centimeter. What will be the cost of painting the curved surface of the pillar at rupees 25 per square meter? Okay, now see this thing. It's a cylindrical pillar. So cylinder, we need to find the cost of painting. So we'll find curved surface area. What is curved surface area is 2 pi r h. Okay. So remember in mensuration, it will help you a lot. Especially here, we are using pi. We use pi as 22 by 11, 22 by 7. Okay. Now 22 is a multiple of 11, isn't it? So we will check the divisibility by, but ensure that this 11 does not get reduced. Okay, so let us take this 2 into pi. R is what? Diameter is 350 centimeter, so radius will be 175 centimeter. Okay, now this is in meters, so we can write 1.75 meters. Okay, and the height is 2 pi r h, height is 15. Okay, and then we have to multiply by 25 also. Now, when you look at this calculation, it becomes a daunting calculation. You fear कि अरे इतना बड़ा number कैसे multiply होगा? Okay, so here comes the savior thing that you can use this concept of divisibility rules. Remember that it might not work every time, but definitely will work in some of the cases. So if even if it works in, let's say, out of 20 questions in a paper, if you are able to apply these techniques in at least 3 or 4 questions, you have saved some time, right? So saving even a small amount of time, it's a blessing. Okay, now if you see this question, like this will cancel out. If you divide by 7, you will get 0.25. You do not need to do the calculations. Now, as I told you that whenever we have pi involved, we have a multiple of 11. Since divisibility by 11 is easy to check, we can check the divisibility here. 4 plus 2 is 6, 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 minus 6 0. Put it on hold. 3 plus 7 is 10, 8 plus 5 is 13. So 13 minus 10, the difference is 3. 3, 9, 3, 8, 11, and this is 14. 14 minus 11, the difference is 3. 8 and 5. 8 minus 5, the difference is 3. So in all others, it does not fit. Only one option fits your answer. Now, again, as I said that this thing can work in some of the questions. So the very first thing that you should see, if any question that involves multiplication by pi is divisibility by 11. If you had checked the divisibility by 11, probably you could have saved all these calculations and formula writing part. Okay, that saves your time in questions. Now, another important thing which we do as a mistake is we count the number of zeros in calculations. Okay, so I would suggest you never count the number of zeros or decimal points in calculations. Right. So let's take a very simple example, because if you just get the base digits right, the zeros and decimals will be taken care of. So whenever we in the future classes also, when I talk about these concepts, we'll be repeatedly using them. So suppose there is a problem which says that average weight of a car and a truck is 1600 and 8500 kg respectively. What is the weight of 300 cars and 400 trucks? Okay. Now if you see this, we need to multiply. What is the calculation that is needed? 1600 kg is weight of one car. Okay. So we have to multiply by 300 plus 8500 kg is the truck weight of one truck, and we have to find for 400 trucks. Now, two zeros here, two zeros here. Remember, you eliminate the same number of zeros. If you are eliminating two zeros, you should eliminate two zeros from all. And this and this. Okay, so what do we get? We get four zeros removed. Now, if I remove four zeros, I should focus on only these digits. Like 1600 into 300 will give us 40 zeros in the end. Here also we will get four zeros in the end. The next thing that we will apply is fast cal, the last digit. Like 16 into 3 ends in 8. Okay, and 5 into 4 ends in 0. So 8 plus 0, the last digit should be 8. So we can say that this is our answer. Now, these things when practiced, now this looks like a simple calculation, but this is a way more simple thing to do. Like I can do this calculation in my head. I do not even have to pick a pen to answer this question. I can say 16 into 3, 8 में end हो रहा है, ठीक है, and 85 into 4 ending in 0. 8 plus 0 is 8. My answer is 388 and followed by 4 zeros. So these things help you save your time in picking up the pen. Okay, so whenever you solve questions, quant questions or data interpretation questions, try to minimize the use of pen. जितना कम pen use करोगे, जितना कम rough work use करोगे, उतनी जल्दी question solve करोगे. So this series is going to build in you these concepts so that you can calculate things very fast and beat others. Remember that there will be lot of aspirants who know the concepts, but there will be very few people who know these techniques and are the ones who end up scoring very well in examinations. Now, next important hack that I would talk about is multiplication or division by 25 and 125. Now, 25 is like if you do 1 by 25 is 4 by 100. If you do 1 by 125, it is 8 by 1000. So, in case if you have to multiply by 25, never multiply by 25. Instead of that, divide by, like if you have to multiply by 25, instead of that, divide by 4. If you have to divide by 25, multiply by 4. If you have to multiply by 125, instead of that, do division by 8, and instead of division by 125, multiply by 8. Okay, and applies to their multiples as well. Suppose you have to multiply by 75. So 75 is into 25 into 3. Okay, so instead of this, divide by 4. So 3 by 4 kar do us number ka, you will be getting the answers. And I told you before not to worry about decimals and zeros. That will take care of themselves. So learn these techniques, try applying wherever you notice these numbers, and you shall see that you have become faster at solving problems. Let's say this is a question. Okay, the total expenditure on a trip was 89600. If 25 persons went on the trip, find the average expense per person. Okay, although it looks a very simple problem, but how can you solve this without even doing the calculations? Okay, now as I told you, we need to divide per person. Per person means we will divide by 25. I just told you that whenever there is division by 25, you need to multiply by 4. So 896 into 4 कर लेते हैं. Now again you can multiply all digits also, like 4 into 6 you will get 24, 2 carries 36 plus 2 38, 3 carries 35, 3584. Okay, that you can do. Second thing to think like this is approximately 900. 900 into 4 is 3600, right? So 3600 से थोड़ा सा less value check कर लो. Only one option is there. Okay, so this is how you can do the calculations very fast. If at the last stage you have to divide 89600 by 25, instead of dividing by 25, you would be multiplying by 4. Let's take another example. 1 kg of almonds costs rupees 640. We need to find the cost of 375 gram of almonds. Okay, now 375 is 125 into 3. So basically, and we have to convert into grams. Now, this is a combined learning, right? I told you not to worry about decimals, zeros, everything. Okay, gram को किलोग्राम में convert करना है, don't worry about it. सो बेस कैलकुलेशन हमारी क्या है 640, सो इसको भी 64 लिख लो, इंटू 125 इंटू 3, ये करना है हमें. ठीक है, डेसिमल भूल जाओ, आप भूल जाओ कि ग्राम को किलोग्राम में कन्वर्ट करना है या 64 को 640 लिखना है. फॉरगेट ऑल दोस थिंग्स. बेसिक वी नीड टू डू दिस, right? I told you whenever you need to multiply by 125, instead of multiplying by 125, divide by 8. So 64 by 8 into 3. Okay, so 8 into 3 is 24. So the number which is 240. So the answer turns out to be 240. So just focus on the base digits. Practice these things. अभी आपको लग रहा होगा कि ये तो कुछ भी values लेके कर रहा है, but try any calculation that involves 25, 125, 75, etc. You will realize that you have started solving those problems fast. Now, I'm not saying that all questions will have these things, but even if out of 20 questions, in 5 questions, you get these things. So, I will be taking up more such sessions on calculation techniques. So, 4 वीडियो होंगे, 4 वीडियो में इतनी सारी टेक्निक्स बता दूंगा कि कोई ना कोई टेक्निक मोस्ट लाइकली किसी क्वेश्चन में फंस जाएगी. सो एटलीस्ट 5 to 6 क्वेश्चंस आपके 20 में से आप मान के चलो कि ऐसे आएंगे, और कुछ एग्जाम ऐसे हो सकते हैं जिसमें बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन ऐसे हो. These techniques will save your time. And if you do it fast, you do more questions. Okay, concept wise lot of people have equal level, but speed wise very few are fast. So you need to get to that level and answer such questions instantly. Okay, so let's take another problem. It says the number of bricks each measuring 25 centimeter into this required to construct a wall 12 meter long, 5 meter high, 25 meter thick. Okay, so we need to find the number of bricks. Number of bricks is this wall 25 and divide by 25, 125 and 75. Okay, so see this magic. This is the combination of all things which I taught you. Okay, like avoiding decimals and zeros. That's a very big trick because it takes time to think कि मीटर को सेंटीमीटर में कन्वर्ट करना है, सेंटीमीटर को मीटर में कन्वर्ट करना है, कहाँ पे डेसिमल लगेगा, इतना सब नहीं सोचना. जस्ट राइट द डिजिट्स, राइट? आई डिड नॉट टेक लाइक 0.25 में डेसिमल कहाँ पे आएगा, 25 सेंटीमीटर को कैसे हम. सो दिस इज ब्रिक, वी नीड टू फाइंड द नंबर ऑफ ब्रिक्स. सो दिस इज वॉल, द डायमेंशन ऑफ वॉल, and this is the dimension of brick. Okay, so these kind of problems can be solved very fast if you avoid thinking about decimals and zeros. So keep this thing that whenever you do calculations, forget decimals, forget zeros. Okay, that saves your time. Now 25 से 25 cancel हो गया. Okay, now we see that this is 12 into 5, 125 and 75, right? 125 division by 125 should be converted to multiplication by 8. This is 75. 75 is basically 25 into 3. Okay, so write 3 here. Okay, and division by 25 needs to be converted to multiplication by 4. Okay, so we will do the same thing. 2 into 12 into 5. In the denominator we will keep 3 because ये 3 रहेगा. 125 हमारा division था, then multiply by 8. This is division, multiply by 4. Okay, so this is 4 times 4, 5, 20, 20 and 32. 32 into 2, 64. So 64, answer is 640. 6400. See, I did not worry about the decimals. I did not worry the zeros. Like 4, 5, 20, 20 into 32, I got 640. So I know the answer is 6400. I did not worry about putting decimals like 0.25 है इसे 0.25 लिखा था ठीक है 12.5 सेंटीमीटर को मीटर में कन्वर्ट करने में कितना आएगा. I just wrote the base digits and did this calculation. Now with practice you can do these calculations very fast. You do not have to write this thing. This was to explain. So you can just write these values and get the answer done. Okay, so you can calculate much faster than most of the people by applying these techniques. So I hope you found these techniques useful. I will be bringing up more such techniques, right? We will have 4 parts. This is just the first part. So please do subscribe to the channel. Please do like this video and follow this playlist for amazing content on Quant. And you will learn that you would have become a magical person in just by practicing these techniques, and you will be able to solve questions much faster than your counterparts by following the learnings of this. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media. And in case you are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examinations, you can check our site link, which is given in the description of this video. We offer courses for all MBA entrance examinations, mainly for CAT, and then we will be launching some courses for NMAT, SNAP, CUET, okay, Maharashtra, CT, etc. So if you have any queries related to courses related to MBA preparation or test series, you can contact us via these platforms. You can text us on WhatsApp, okay, on Instagram, Telegram, or you can mail me to know about our courses on CAT and other MBA exam preparation. So I hope you found this video useful. So please do like this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for great content on MBA preparation. Please keep an eye on the coming videos of this playlist so that you become an expert in quant and ace your examinations.